Good morning, students. Welcome to this online teaching session of Academic Word School Bemitra. This is my third lecture on determinants. If you remember, last time I discussed roughly 7 properties, and then towards the end of that lecture we tried to attempt some questions also, and then I asked that you need to practice little more, not only from NCERT books but also from reference books. The reason, the variety of questions which belongs to these chapters are more, and in NCERT book for practice number of questions are not sufficient, and therefore you need to look for some reference book also. Okay, now today in this class what we have planned, look at this. We are going to attempt some more questions. I have already written questions. These are slightly different questions, but these questions are important from examination point of view. So we are going to attempt this and then see the significance of properties what we have learned in this chapter. Then we are going to apply the concept of this determinant to find out area of triangle. You learn in grade 10th how to find out area of triangle in coordinate geometry chapter. So we are going to connect with the same, and then the condition for collinearity of 3 points. This is we are going to discuss in today's class. So let's begin. I hope all of you are ready with your notebooks and writing material. Let's begin, and I would urge each one of you, please do along with me. Already we have learned the properties. So let's begin. In first question it says prove that. What is given? X, y, z, x square, y square, z square, x cube, y cube, z cube. You can look at the determinant. It says prove that it is x, y, z, x minus y, y minus z, z minus x. This is what we have to prove. X minus y, y minus z, z minus x, and multiplied by x, y, z. So what I said last time, whatever we have to prove, in that proof first we begin with left hand side. So let's begin with left hand side. So what is, for question number 1, what is our left hand side? Left hand side is given by x, y, z, x square, y square, z square, x cube, y cube, z cube. So this is our left hand side. Now in determinant, whatever we have to prove, particularly in questions where you are supposed to prove something, remember, this is very, very important skill. Never lose the sight what you have to prove. For example, we have to prove x, y, z into x minus y into y minus z into z minus x. This is what we have to bring. So x, y, z we have to bring. You can see that in first column from everywhere we can take x common. From here we can take y common. From here we can take z common. So what is the change we have to bring? We have to bring change in C1. What is that change? We are taking x common from C1. What is the change in C2 you are doing? In C2 we are taking 1 by y common from C2. And in C3, what is the change you are bringing? In C3 we are bringing the change 1 by z. We are taking the common. So let's take that. After that, what will happen if you take x, y, z from here? You got x, y, z from here. So this will become 1x, x square. This will give you 1 y, y square, 1 z, z square. This is what is left. Now, so we got this part x, y, z we have got. Now we have to bring this one, and they are written in factor x minus y, y minus z, z minus a. So that we need to arrange. Now what is the way to expand? To expand any determinant, we have learned that it is the best idea to expand about the row or column which contains at least 2 zeros or more number of zeros. We can't have more than 2 0. If it is more than 2 0, then determinant will simply vanish. So look at this. So what will happen in this case? So what is the change we are trying to bring? We are trying to bring the change, we are making the change in C2. What is that change? C2 minus C1. From C2 we are subtracting C1. And in C3 we are bringing change, C3 minus C1 we are bringing. So it becomes X, Y, Z. Look at this. What happens? So in C2 we are making change, in C3 we are making change, no change in C1. So what will happen? It will become 1x x square, and this will become 0. This will give you y minus x, y square minus x square. This will give you 0, z minus x, z minus x, z square minus x square. Understand that? What we have done? C2 minus C1. From C2 we are subtracting this. So 1 minus 1 0, y minus x, y square minus x square. 1 minus 1, z minus x, z square minus x square. This is what we have written. So what was the purpose of doing this? We wanted to get some zeros. We have got that. Now after that, immediately don't expand this here. Look further. Is there in something which is common? Look at this. In this, y minus x can be taken further common. From here, z minus x can be taken further common. So if we look at this, so I am taking y minus x common from here and z minus x common from here. I am taking this outside. So if I take this outside, that means now we are making the change in C2. What is that change? The change is I am taking this y minus x common. Y minus x I have taken common from C2, and from C3 we are taking common z minus x common we are taking from C3. From there we are taking this z minus x common. So if I take this common from that side, so what will happen? So this part we are taking common, this part we are taking common from here. So you are left with x, y, z that has taken common y minus x, and then z minus x. What is left inside? Look at this. No change in this. So this will remain as it is at 1x x square, and from here this is 0, this will become 1, this will become y plus x. So 0, 1, y plus x. It will become 0, this will become 1, and this will give you z plus x. Now expand this. Now you can expand about this first row. It will give you x, y, z, y minus x, z minus x. And now if I expand this, 1 into this determinant 1y plus x, 1z plus x. About this you are left with this determinant, and about these two it will give you plus 0. So nothing is left over there. X, y, z, y minus x, z minus x. Now multiply this. This will give you z plus x minus y minus x. This is what we are getting. X got cancelled, so you are left with z minus y. So x, y, z, y minus x, z minus x, and then here z minus y. If you look at what we have to prove, we have to prove this. It says x minus y, y minus z, z minus x. Here we are getting y minus x. You can take minus sign common, and that minus sign you can put in this one. So it will become y minus z. So it can be further written x, y, z, x minus y, then y minus z, and then z minus x. This is what is your right hand side. This is how you can prove the first one. So we have got this first result. Let's move to the next question. The next question is, Now we are going to attempt this second question. Look at this question. This question is very important. All these questions, they are asked in board examination, and that is how they are important. In second question, I am writing this left hand side once again. This left hand side says 1 plus A, 1, 1, 1, 1 plus B, 1, 1, 1, 1 plus C. Now, in this question, second question, if you see, we have done already this first question. We'll move further. Look at this. What we have to prove? We have to prove A, B, C into 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C. Now, if you try to look at this, there is nowhere in the given left hand side these terms are present. So you have to think how to bring these terms. So that will be the first challenge. How to bring 1 upon A, 1 upon B, 1 upon C. That is the one part. Second part, how to bring this whole bracket all together. How to create that, because nowhere it is present in the question itself. So this is where we have to start thinking. This is how this question becomes important. Now look at this. Now in this question, if I say that, okay, fine, take A common from row 1. I am taking A common from row 1. What does it mean? R1, I am bringing one change. 1 by A, R1. Simply I am dividing this here. So dividing means what? When I am dividing inside, I have to multiply outside. So A will come outside. Similarly, R2, what we are doing? In R2, 1 by B, R2. From here I am taking B common. And then in R3, what we are doing? 1 by C, R3 we are taking. Be very careful in this question. Now if I do this, what will be the next determinant? So I have taken A common from first row. So my first row will become, look at this, A is common but A is not present here. So it will become 1 upon A. So this becomes 1 plus 1 upon A. This will become 1 upon A. This will also become 1 upon A. I hope you are following that. A is outside, A we have taken common. From here we are taking B common. So B brought outside. So this will become 1 upon B. 1 plus 1 upon B, 1 upon B. You can see that. Similarly, in third row we are taking C common. So it will become 1 upon C, 1 upon C, 1 plus 1 upon C. This is what we got. Now, look at this very carefully, what we are going to do in the next step. Now you can see that 1 plus 1 upon A, what is here? 1 upon B, 1 upon C. If I add all this, what will happen? Your this term, bracket term, you will get. Similarly, if I add all these three, you will get the same thing what you have got here. If you add all these, you will get same thing what you have got in the earlier cases. And then you can take that part common. And then further you can look how to proceed. So what I am doing now after this, I am making very small change in this. So the change is in R1, we are going to add R1 plus R2 plus R3. We are adding all these things. So if we add all these three in row 1, what will happen? Look at this. Already outside you have got A, B, C. Inside you will get 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C. 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C. 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C. This is what you will get. This will be your now new row, first row. Second and third we are not making any change. We have made change only in R1. So that is what is written. And this will remain as it is. 1 upon B, 1 upon C, 1 plus 1 upon B, 1 upon C, 1 upon B, 1 plus 1 upon C. Now you can see that from first row, this whole thing, 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C is common. Just take that common from there. So you are left with A, B, C, 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C. Now, see what is left. This will become 1, 1, 1. Write down that. 1, 1, 1. Here you are have 1 upon B, 1 plus 1 upon B, 1 upon B, and then 1 upon C, 1 upon C, 1 plus 1 upon C. Look at this. We have taken this part, 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C common from here. So if you take this common, what is left? Everywhere it will become 1. So we got 1, 1, 1. Now look at outside. This is what you have to bring. It says prove that this thing. Now if I have to prove this thing, so I think now you can think of what will be value of this. Obviously, if everything in the right hand side, if we have got as a factor of this, product of this, obviously its value has to be 1. But how to say that it should be 1? Let's expand that. So we are going to expand now. So look at this. So after this, what we are doing, because we have to expand now, and for expansion, what is the easy way? Create two zeros in any row or any column. So we are going to do now that. So what we will do, we are simply making change in C2. What is that change? C2 minus C1. And similarly, we are making change in C3. What is that? C3 minus C1. We are making that. So what will happen? It will become A, B, C. 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C, and then into we can write over here what is left. There is no change in C1, so you are left with 1 upon B, 1 upon C, 1 upon B, 1 upon C, and then in C2 you are making change, you are subtracting from C1, so 1 minus 1, it will become 0. This minus this, 1 upon B will get cancelled. So you are left with 1. This minus this, so it will give you 0. Fine. Now, C3, what you are doing? C3 minus C1. So 1 minus 1, it will give you 0. 1 upon B minus 1 upon B, that will also give 0. This minus this will give you 1. Now you can see that. So we have expanded it. So 2 zeros we got in this. So what we can do, we can expand about first row. So if you expand about first row, what will happen? This element, leave this part. Corresponding determinant is this one, 1, 0, 0, 1. So I am expanding that A, B, C, 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C into this 1. Now see, 1 into 1, 1 minus 0, 1 minus 0. About this, 0. And about this also 0. So this is 0. So what is that? 1 minus 0, 1, 1 into 1, 1. So this whole thing becomes 1. No change in this. So you are left with A, B, C, 1 plus 1 upon A plus 1 upon B plus 1 upon C. This, which is nothing but, this is your right hand side. This is what is the required thing which you are supposed to prove. This is how we can do this second question. Now let's move to this last question. Okay, so let's write down that. We have done this. In this third question, what we have to prove? This determinant is equal to 2 times x plus y plus z whole cube we have to prove. So to prove, first let's write down What is our left hand side? Our left hand side is the determinant x plus y plus 2z, x, y, and then z, y plus z plus 2x, y, and then z, x, z plus x plus 2y. This is what is the question. X plus y plus 2z, x plus y plus 2z, x, y, z, y plus 2z, y plus z plus 2x, y, z, x, z plus x plus 2y. This is what is the question given. And what we have to prove? We have to prove that it is equal to 2 times x plus y plus z whole cube we have to prove. Now, so to proceed this, remember that what we have to bring? We have to bring x plus y plus z whole cube we have to bring. Fine? So how can we arrange this? Look at this question very carefully. X plus y plus z we have to bring. Let's say if I add all these in this one. See, one very simple option. Either you can add all 3 rows together, or you can add all 3 columns in first column. It is possible. So if I add this, it is not serving any purpose. If I add this, it will become x plus y plus 4z. It is not serving the purpose. If row wise if we add, it is not serving the purpose. So what should we do? Look at this. If we add the column, x plus y, it will become 2x plus y plus 2y plus 2z. If I add this to this, it will become over here y and z is added to this 2x plus 2y plus 2z. So this is serving the purpose. So what we have to do? We are making change in C1. What is the change? C1 plus C2 plus C3. Remember that. Always think what it is that you have to bring. So if we do this, you are getting over here, if I add all this, 2 times x plus y plus z, then x, y, all are added here, 2 times x plus y plus z, and then it will remain as it is, y plus z plus 2x, y, add all this, z, this will become 2 times x plus y plus z, this is x, and z plus x, z plus x plus 2y. Now, no change in the C2 and C3. The only change we have brought in this. Now, what is the next step? Take this common. So, now we are going to make change in that. We are taking this common outside. I hope you understand. We are bringing this outside. So, if I take this one outside, what is actually what we are doing? We are multiplying by this outside and dividing also by this side. Okay, so we are bringing this 1 upon x plus y plus z in C1. So if I do this, what will happen? You are left with, so this will come outside, 2 will also come outside, 2x plus y plus z, you will get 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There is no change in other parts, so it will remain as it is, x, y, then y plus z plus 2x, y, and then this will remain as it is, x, z plus x plus 2y. Now we have got 1, 1, 1. What is the best way? Create 2 zeros. Easily you can create 2 zeros. So what is the next step? We will do, in R2 we are making change, R2 minus R1, and then R3 we are also making change, R3 minus R1. So if we do these two things, what will happen? Look at this, 2x plus y plus z, this is already taken, no change in R1. So R1 will remain as it is. So write down first R1, 1, x, y, no change in R1. There is a change in R2. And what is that change? The change is R2 minus R1 we are writing. That means from here we have to subtract this. 1 minus 1, 0. This minus this, so 1x will get cancelled. So you are left with y plus z plus x. And then y minus y will become 0. Similarly, in R3 you are making change. This minus this, it will become 0. And then x minus x will also become 0. This is also becoming 0. And from here if you subtract, 1y will get cancelled. So you are left with z plus x plus y. Now you can see that. Now it is very easy to expand about column C1. If I expand about this, what will happen? You will get 2x plus y plus z. Then expanding about this, 1 into this, x plus y plus z, x plus y plus z, you are left with x plus y plus z whole square minus 0. You can see that this into this minus this. So this will become whole square. So, and then this is giving you a minus 0. So this part is over. And then expand about this, these two will already become 0. So we are left with 2x plus y plus z. This is whole square. So here becomes whole cube. Now you can see that what was required. 2x plus y plus z whole cube. This is what we were supposed to prove that here. So dear students, I gave you a couple of samples. Questions which were asked in board examination. So this is the way you have to practice. Now the next part of this, we are going to see that how this concept can be applied. So the application part now we have to begin. In application, you need to recall how we got the area of triangle. We learned in grade 10 area of triangle ABC. Suppose the triangle is given A, B, C. Its coordinates are x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. These are the coordinates of this. So area of this triangle, if I have to find out area of this triangle ABC, if I have to find, you learned in grade 10. What was the formula? 1 by 2 x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 y3 minus y1 plus x3 y1 minus y2. Now dear students, we need to connect. This is what you derived. You learned this formula after deriving it. And what was the method? You applied the method of finding area of that triangle. How? That area of triangle you got from the area of trapezium. I hope you are able to recall that here. So that method you applied, and then after applying you got this one. Now in this class what I want to tell you, I just simply want to tell you this is nothing. But if I say that just simply expand the determinant x1, y1, 1, x2, y2, 1, x3, y3, 1. If I ask you simply expand this, then what will be value of this? If I ask you, okay, expand this. Let's say expand this. So if I say expand this, what I have to do? I have to create 0 over here. So I am making some change in that. What is the change? In R2 I am making change R2 minus R1, and then R3 I am making change, R3 minus R1. If I make this change, what will happen? You will get 2 zeros over here, correct? And then you can simply expand. If you, let's do that. So you are left with no change in R1, X1, Y1, 1, and then we have made change R2 minus R1, R2 minus R1, X2 minus X1, Y2 minus Y1, 0, and then X3 minus X1, Y3 minus Y1, and then 0. Now let's expand this about this third column. If you expand this about third column, what will happen? You will get 1 into the, you will multiply by these two minus these two. If you do that, then after multiplying, what comes? So I am expanding about this. It gives me the determinant x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, x3 minus x1, y3 minus y1. This is what is left. Cross multiply, others will become 0, so I have not written that here. Now if you cross multiply, you will get, this is giving you, this is x2 minus x1. So it gives you x2 minus x1, y3 minus y1 minus x3 minus x1 into y2 minus y1. Now, dear students, if we rearrange these terms, simply rearrange, this is nothing but it is written the same thing. Just after rearranging, you can prove that it is nothing but this part. I took only this determinant. So can I say that now if I have to write the area of triangle in terms of determinant, so what should be that? It should be nothing but the area can be given by 1 by 2 x1 y1 1 x2 y2 1 x3 y3 1. So remember that if you are given coordinates x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3 are vertices of any triangle, then to find area of it, what you need to do? Write down first coordinate x1 y1 1, second coordinate x2 y2 1, then next coordinate x3 y3 1, and then simplify this. Whatever comes, that stands for the area of the triangle. Fine. And now from here itself, one more thing we can write. We will take up one question. Okay. But before that, let me explain one more thing. In grade 10th, there was a question. Very often it used to ask in different, examination. How will you prove that the given 3 points are collinear? They are lying, collinear means they are lying on the same line. As you know that, through given 2 points you can always draw a straight line. And in case if third point also lies upon that, we say that 3 points are collinear. Now, what happens if we don't know about anything, what type of points are given? So obviously we can assume that, let's say these three points are forming a triangle. Fine. You can find area of triangle. Suppose if area of triangle comes 0, what does it mean? It means there is no triangle. What does it mean? The third point lies on the line, on the baseline itself. That means this becomes the condition for collinearity. So you can say that these 3 points, what are the 3 points? A, B, C, if their coordinates are x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, and question says find the condition. Under what condition these 3 points will be collinear? So what will be your answer? These 3 points will be collinear provided the area of this triangle becomes 0. What does it mean? It means that x1, y1, 1, x2, y2, 1, x3, y3, 1, that becomes 0. This is the condition for collinearity. As long as this is equal to 0, you can say that these 3 points A, B and C are collinear. I hope you might have noticed that practicing properties is very, very important. And after that, the application. In application of determinant, I explained you how to find area of triangle. And then I also connected with the collinearity of 3 points if their coordinates are given with the determinant. If the corresponding determinant becomes 0, the point given 3 points will become collinear. So now the assignment related with this is already uploaded. Again, I would urge each one of you, watch this very carefully. Wherever you have doubts in this lecture, you can write back to me through ERP, complete the assignment as soon as possible and send it through ERP to me. Thank you.